A brand new year and a brand new mystery box challenge, and guess what? There are some new twists and turns that you guys are going to love. I'm Jamie, the crafty DIY guy. Welcome back to my channel. All right, you guys, now as I mentioned, it's mystery box challenge time, and this year's a brand new year, and we've got some fun challenges. Now I'm opening my box right here for the first time. My box actually came from Tracy over at Country Charm by Tracy. I've never worked with Tracy before, so I'm actually really excited, and the twists and turns that are going to be happening this year are super fun. So there's going to always be a playlist. It's going to be down in the description box that you guys can follow along with, but this year they have opened up something brand new that I'm really excited about. And you guys get to vote. You guys get to vote, and you get to vote on best projects and all kinds of other fun things. And that's going to be a nice, very cool integration. And I think there's even going to be some prize options there too for you guys. And then also the box, as you all know, all has a theme. This year's theme is color. We had to send 7 items. There's lots of color, and I'm already looking in the box here, and there's already lots of color right away. And let's see, what else was there? There are 2 wrapped items in the box. Those are the challenge items. And one of the challenge items, you know, should be tricky, should be a little difficult to work with. And then one challenge item is something that comes from like your household, like something you use, like could be an empty can. It could be a toilet paper roll. It could be a paper towel roll. It could be anything like that. And then the twist, because there's always a twist, is that I have to make a DIY with, I have to make a DIY inspired by the era that I have been assigned. So each of us were assigned a different era. I was assigned the 1960s. So one of my DIYs that I make today should have kind of a 1960s flair. And one challenge item, as I mentioned, needed to be that household item, and I'm terrified to see what's in this box. So let's get started right now. She gave me some sweets right off the bat, so that means she's probably not so sweet in the box. How cute is that? Just super cute. Lots and lots of color. She gave me gummy bears, which I love some gummy bears. And then looks like there's two things in here. I don't know what this is. All right, let's see what the note says. And by the way, you can't see it, but up above this bookshelf here, this storage shelf, are all the cards that you guys send and like different things. So this is from Tracy. It says, Jamie, I'm super excited to be joining my fellow DIY YouTubers in the DIY Mystery Box Challenge for this round. I'll be honest, I totally had so much fun picking out some of the colorful items for you to DIY with. I know it'll be a piece of cake, I hope. Anywho's, I've included a sweet treat to reward yourself with. Happy crafting, your friend Tracy, Country Charm by Tracy. So thank you, Tracy. That's gonna go up on the board. And this was clipped to it, so I don't know what's in there. Gummy bears though. I'm gonna eat those tonight. Probably eat those while I'm trying to figure out. And oh my gosh, Tracy, that's so sweet. She sent me a $15 Starbucks gift card as well. That's incredible. Thank you so much. I didn't put anything in my box to anybody. My box, by the way, went over to Jennifer over at Little Bit of Common Crazy. So love Jennifer. I've known her for several years, and we're excited. All right, now I'm not so excited about this stuff. Let's get in here. Now, this is a challenge item, so I will leave that for last. And there are some really pretty pink flowers. Those are pretty, even the way she wrapped it and everything. I did so bad with my box, I feel like. Let's see what else is in here. This is fun. And by the way, the 7 items could come from any store we wanted to. They didn't have to just come from Dollar Tree or a thrift store or whatever. This looks like it may have been maybe Hobby Lobby or something. I think that's, they put the, it's tulle. It's tulle. It's like rainbow tulle. So I have to make challenge items with this. Y'all know me. I'm not like, I like color, but Wait, okay, and then there's another challenge item here. So, these are really cute. Oh my gosh, these are adorable. Look at those decorative clips. I have not seen these at my, that looks like Dollar Tree. I've not seen these at my Dollar Tree. They're like little blinged out little birdies, and then you can see there that it's got the little clip. So that's fun and kind of scary. And then there's some little Easter eggs. Oopsie, sorry, those are backwards. Those are blingy as well. So far, Tracy is hitting the rainbow of colors, especially with the tulle and everything. I'm a little scared. And she wrapped up everything in all this different color. How sweet was that? Socks! Some knee socks. Now, I got excited because I was like, I love socks. But now I'm like, oh, I've got to DIY with these socks. So, yeah, some socks. Okay. I'm at a loss. All right, next item. Cute little bucket. Very, very cute. Do not fill these with candle wax. Take it from me. I did that one in my kitchen. Not a good thing. This is kind of fun. This is funky. This could actually work for my 60s, maybe. That's just a, looks like it's a placemat and or a piece of felt. That could work for maybe a 60s vibe. But maybe. We'll see. And this next item, wow, Tracy, tissue paper. I have no idea. I'm stumped. I'm usually not stumped right away, or at least I start thinking of stuff. Now this flock bunny is super cute. I've had this, I actually used this in a recent DIY, so it's kind of nice to have another one here. And yeah, so the kind of everyday stuff that I have to use before we even get to the challenge items, the bunny, some tissue paper, this felt mat, which is actually kind of cool. Some knee socks that I'm gonna have to destroy. Some pretty pink flowers. I don't know what kind these are. Sedum. I don't know what that is. And then I have some chickens and some eggs. And I'm gonna have the bucket. And then I have the tool. And thankfully, she sent me the Starbucks card and the gummy bears because I don't know what I'm in for next here. So challenge item and challenge item. This feels like an empty can. Feels like an empty can. Could be totally wrong. But that's, yeah, I think I was right. It's an empty aluminum can, which I'm not mad about. Yep. Empty aluminum can. Thank you for cleaning it out, Tracy. And I'm gonna be using that in a DIY. I'm not scared of this. I've actually got an idea already about that. And maybe I could do kind of a funky, like little desk thing for like pens and pencils and paintbrushes and stuff. So that one's okay, Tracy. And then this challenge item, this feels like pencils. Almost positive this is pencils. It feels like pencils. Oh, no, it's even worse. It's even worse. It's straws. But I don't know. I have to look at the rules, but I don't know if I can combine those, because that could be kind of fun. But I do have tissue paper. I do have flowers. I could maybe make a little flower vase with these and then use these. I don't know if that would be cheating, but that would be a DIY. So I'm gonna take a few minutes and a few days actually on my side, and it'll only be a few seconds for you guys, and we'll jump into these DIYs. But meantime, I'm gonna get some of these because I need the brain power. All right, guys. Now, of course, as a reminder, these are all the goodies that Tracy sent me. So the can and the straws are my kind of must-use challenge items. And one of the challenge items has to be done within the era that was assigned to me, which was the 60s. So I am going to kind of do what I said I was doing as I unpacked the kit, the mystery box, and I'm going to turn this can into a kind of 60s inspired pen, pencil holder, paintbrush holder, and it's actually pretty easy. Now, grab a can of any kind that you'd like. Maybe this was, I don't know, maybe this was baked beans. Maybe it was green beans. What do you guys think it was? Leave it in the comments below and let me know what your thoughts are. So if you're going to do this too, we're going to take this felt, and this is great. This is actually really cool. I think it came from either Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and just kind of eyeballed where it's going to go, and then I'm going to just take my straight edge there, and I'm going to use a Sharpie, and we are just going to draw our line on there. Always grab a bright Sharpie if you can. It helps definitely with being able to see that line and to cutting it, and I'm just going to kind of hold my straight edge in place and just kind of work it up and down there. And then I'm just going to cut it. Thank God for nice sharp scissors. And I'm going to go through this felt, and this is going to end up being the perfect size, which is really cool. Now, for the felt, I wanted to adhere it to the can, but I didn't want any, like, if I were to use glue, like glue gun glue, for example, right? It would be just a little boxy and a little chunky, and I was like, no, I don't think I want to do that, because, I want this to kind of look as smooth as possible. So what I did was I decided to go ahead first and cut away some of this excess felt, because I'm not really going to need this, and there's no reason to kind of partially wrap. I want to go around and just kind of have a seam on the back, and easy peasy. So I'm going to grab the straight edge once again, and just kind of trim that up again. So taking the straight edge out, kind of rolling everything out. It's funny, the can had a little bit of like stickiness still on it from, I guess, whatever label was on it, and it was sticking to the felt like it wanted to be part of the felt. And don't worry, can. We are going to make your dreams come true. So take your scissors once again, just kind of cut down that felt, and then you can get ready to start to glue this. Now, I wanted to glue this again and wanted it to stick. So I took out a paper towel, put my felt on top of that, and now I'm going to grab this tacky spray. And the tacky spray ended up working out perfectly, because you can kind of spray this down. And then I stood the can up, and I tried to focus on just kind of the lip of the can. Now, I cut this to where the lip is going to show, because I liked that little bit of silver kind of peeking up at the top there. So I'm just going to kind of focus on lining this up as much as I can around the top of the can. And then what ended up happening is you just kind of adjust the felt accordingly. And sorry, this is running off camera there a little bit. But what ended up happening for me was that it went on pretty straight for the most part. And the seam kind of part here, I just kind of overlaid it a little bit and just made sure everything was nice and smooth and nice and even. And it turned out really good. I was kind of shocked by it. So now this is what it looks like for paintbrushes and for storage. And this is just a great addition to my craft room. Now for this next DIY, we're going to take the tissue paper and these flowers that came into my mystery box, and I've also got this wire wreath form. Now for the tissue paper, I'm going to be kind of cutting this up into small squares, and so go ahead and whatever way you want to do this, just start cutting away. Just start, having a good time. This one's going to take a little while, this DIY, so you've been warned that if you're going to replicate this at home, it's definitely going to take a little while. And we're just going to keep cutting down all of our tissue paper here, and we're going to get it into these long kind of rectangular sections. And then we are going to take them and we're going to end up cutting them down again into kind of half of the rectangle. So pretty easy. It just does take a little while. Sit in front of the TV, do it. Grab some ribbon, and we're going to take some ribbon. Essentially what we're doing is kind of like, the mesh wreaths, but we're doing it with tissue paper. So same exact kind of concept. You're going to layer in a ribbon of some kind because you want that pop of color. And this ribbon from Dollar Tree that I just happened to have on hand was perfection, because it's got all those gorgeous colors in it with that blue and that pink. So we are going to make a very, very colorful wreath. Now I also have these straws, and you remember that the straws were part of the challenge item. So this is challenge item number 2 that I'm using here. And I'm going to take the straws out, and we're just going to put those aside. So now I'm going to take about 4 pieces of the blue and about 4 pieces of the pink, and they will stick together. So you may have to, like, lick your fingers and pull them off of there and do that kind of stuff that I've seen my mom and my family do for a long time, and I do it still. And then you're going to take a straw and you're going to layer it over the top. Then you're going to bend it kind of in the middle. Take a pipe cleaner. You could probably even use twine if you didn't have this on hand. And you're going to wrap it around, and you're going to kind of twist it on the back. Now, the good thing about this is that once you're kind of finished with all these bundles and you've adhered them to the wreath, you can go ahead and play with the tissue and play with the ribbon, and it's going to totally cover up your pipe cleaner thing. So you don't have to worry about that. So any color that you can find or any color that you have on hand will work. And so I'm going to take my pipe cleaner here, and I'm just going to kind of twist it around on the back of the wreath there. And this is kind of what you've got here. And again, playing around with the, the fluffiness of the tissue paper and everything. But now it's time to make a bunch of these. And this is where I said, sit in front of the TV. If you have a TV in your craft room, even better, put a movie on, put some music on, and just have a good time. Now, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to make you guys sit through me making tons of these bundles. I will say for that small wreath form, I think I did about 6 bundles per section. So if that gives you an idea of, how much materials or how many bundles you would need to make. Obviously, if you're going to go with a larger wreath form, then you want to go with a larger one. Now, I haven't made a wire mesh wreath in a long time, and I'm curious, have you guys made one? It's been a while since I've made one, so let me know in the comments below if you like making those. I feel like they're really, really good for spring. I've made one for Christmas stuff in the past, but it's been a while. So now I've got all my bundles done. I got a big pile of bundles there. There's even a big pile off camera there. And I'm just going to take them, and we're going to start adding them to our wreath form. This is actually not a bad process at all. It's kind of a mess. From the backside, you're thinking, what the heck is this, Jamie? This looks crazy. But as you can see, when you start to kind of squish your bundles up closer together, it really does have a cool look. So we are going to now create more bundles because I didn't have enough bundles. I wanted to kind of get an idea of how many bundles I would need for each section. And again, just replicating it. And you can use any color straw. If you wanted to make sure that your bundles always had some different, character and color to them, then go ahead and definitely grab different sections. So now that we've got these bundles in a pretty good place, it is time to start adding all of these to our wreath form. So now that I have another kind of idea of how many bundles I really do need, now they're all ready to go, and it's time to literally just start adding them to the wreath form. And because you're doing these and you're kind of facing them down, don't worry about how it looks initially, because once they're all secure, then you can go back through and fluff them up. Again, right now, just kind of focus on getting the straws in different quadrants, different colors of them. That way you have some mix. Now, I originally thought I would need small straws, and I cut some of them in half, and it ended up being too short. So that's why I went with the longer, and you'll see that I end up trimming those straws down here in a little bit, and because they're just really long. But as you can see, when you start to kind of fluff out those bundles and kind of play around with everything, it really does start to look like a beautiful mesh wire wreath. I was actually really, really happy with this one. And again, you're just going through and just kind of fluffing those bundles out. And starting to kind of really take shape with this. And the great thing about that tissue paper is that it does kind of stay in place. And then this is where I just kind of started snipping off those straws. That one was a little challenging for whatever reason. But these little straws were just flying all over the craft room. I'm sure Otis is having a field day playing around with these, although I did kind of scoop them all up because I wouldn't want him playing with something like that. But look how cute this is. I absolutely love this and so happy with it. Now for this next DIY, I do have these flowers that I was sent by, or that Tracy sent me. And I have these kind of sparkly Easter eggs and these sparkly, I guess they're chickens. And I've also got some more wire wreath forms because I'm going to make another wreath because I think that this would be a cute one to give to a neighbor of mine. So I'm going to go ahead and take that wreath form, and then we're going to empty out all of these glittery eggs and chickens. And I guess, are they chicks or chickens? If they're babies, they're chicks, I think, right? That's what we're going to go with. But let's just say Whitney from Whiskey and Wit, she would not want to be doing this DIY right now because, Whitney does not like glitter. And Whitney, stay far away from these. I'm sure you are steering clear from them anyway. But yeah, they're pretty messy. I would take my flowers, we're just kind of plucking them down to the kind of smallest bit that you can. And we're going to get those all separated. And then for the eggs, I'm going to go ahead and pull out these ribbons that are in the eggs because these are supposed to be ornaments. And then for the eggs, I'm going to go ahead and glue those down first. We're going to let that kind of be the start of this wreath form. And the great thing about this, if you have a silicone mat like I've got below me there, that white mat that you see, that is silicone. So any of this glue that is dripping down, it's not going to be an issue. It's going to come off actually really, really easy. So don't, if you have a silicone mat, this is fantastic to use for this. Any kind of metal wreath form, if you're gluing something to it, get a silicone mat. It will save your life and it'll make things so much easier. If you don't have a silicone mat, you could wrap this wreath form. You could wrap it in toilet paper. You could wrap it in some kind of gauze. You could wrap it in pretty much anything. You could use rope. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you could cover this. You could just make little mini wreath bundles as well, like the tissue paper bundles that we did before. But I wanted this one to be just a little bit different. So I'm going to take everything and literally just kind of glue it down to the wreath form. And what was kind of cool about this, honestly, is that there were just enough chicks and just enough eggs to completely cover this. Now, for this part, this is going to look real crazy. And I'm just kind of adding the flowers in between and just kind of filling this up as much as I can. And I did it from the back side here. And then I flipped it over and kind of did it on the front side. And then I just kind of kept alternating back and forth. And then I also trimmed away some of those really long pieces that you see. And then there was a ton of hot glue with this. But when it was all done, this is what it looked like. And I thought this turned out really, really cute once again. Now for this next DIY, this is Mr. Bunny. I have a couple of Mr. Bunnies. And I thought, why not kind of mix it up? Now, Easter is going to be coming earlier this year, and it's also a little chilly still outside in some parts of the country. So I thought, why not make something for Mr. Bunny to help him stay warm? Now, I took the sock and trimmed that down to kind of make him, initially I was thinking like a little sweater, but you can't really do that because he doesn't have arms. Not that you can kind of put a sweater on anyway. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to take the orange and white and we're going to make like a little turtleneck thing. And then I thought, okay, he needs a scarf of some kind. So I'm going to take these kind of ribbon pieces here that I've got and try and kind of figure these out and manipulate these out. Now with that stretchy of the sock, as soon as you cut that, it starts coiling up like that. And I was like, okay, that's kind of strange, but I think I can figure this out. So I ended up just kind of taking one of them and doubling it over and thought, okay, this is going to be a little better. And then I'm going to take this piece. And then after I've got it kind of doubled over, what I'm trying to figure out here, honestly, is like part of do I knot it? Do I just glue it? Like, what are some options here? And This was a little frustrating because the way it kept kind of curling up at the end, it just wasn't working for me. So eventually I just decided, all right, I think I'm going to glue this down here, and then it will kind of look like a scarf. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to add some little floral pieces or something. That way it almost looks like a little brooch or something, right? So I'm going to take this leaf, and we're going to take the leaf first, and we're going to kind of position it where the brooch or where the knot of your scarf would be if you were wearing a scarf out. And we're going to give Mr. Bunny a permanent scarf and a permanent brooch kind of idea here. So we're going to take the flower, or the petals rather, and we're going to glue that down first. That way that kind of sets the stage for everything. And then I'm going to take the orange sock, and I'm going to kind of cut some fringe into the bottom of this. And surprisingly, when this started happening, it actually made me like it even more, because I thought it really did start to look like a scarf. And there was something about it too that just gave me carrot vibes, and I'm sure it's just because of that vibrant orange color. But, I was thinking about like some of our friends that live up north where they're still getting snow in some cases. Like, your bunny's probably cold and he needs a scarf. So that's what we're doing here, creating this little bunny scarf. Now, the initial kind of fold over, I was like, yeah, that's a little long. So I did take it and I cut it and made it a little bit shorter. And it kind of turned it into two little pieces, which ended up not being a big deal at all, because all I did was just kind of glue those down right to where that leaf kind of petals are. And again, pulling up the glue gun that is hanging on for dear life here. And I need to get a new glue gun really, really badly. But we're going to add these little scarf pieces here. And then we can cover that up with the floral pieces. And you won't even know that the scarf is not really tied around Mr. Bunny's neck. Now, I know I could have taken the scarf or the sock rather, and cut it lengthwise or something like that. But I was afraid if I did that, then everything would coil up like you see the scarf pieces. However, I have to say, I am really pretty happy with Mr. Bunny, and I think he looks very, very happy here in my guest bedroom. What do you guys think? I think it turned out really, really cute. Now, for this DIY, the bucket, if you guys remember my Christmas or my Halloween video, I tried to create a giant candle, and I thought, you know what, let's give it another try. And then I got scared and I was like, nope, we're not going to do that. This bucket, by the way, I did test it, and it is waterproof. I put water in it and set it there for about 6 hours, and it never leaked or anything, but I just did not want to risk it. Now, these little pellets, these are wax pellets, and this is a kit that I picked up at, I think it came from Pop Shelf. And so I put some wax in the bottom of it. Now put the candle in there. That's a candy corn candle. That was the only one I had on hand. And then we're going to take some of this wax, and we're just going to fill it in around there and just kind of make sure that it's kind of smoothed out at the top. And then as this candle burns, it will start to melt those little wax pieces as well. And I thought, how cute is this for a little candle? So, so cute.